100 gram.
Hi, my name is Justice J. Williams. I am born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I am a new mother. I'm 24 years old. I am a model, entrepreneur, and business owner of Beauty Wear Cosmetics.
Cool. So tell us about your childhood. Tell us a little about your childhood.
So I grew up in the 13th Ward, which is Constance, and I believe around Magazine Street. I grew up with 4 brothers. I'm the only girl, and I went to McDonald number 7. And my childhood was pretty good. I had a pretty good life. My dad's family is well off, so I got to see 2 different sides of the world, which is living in poverty and living an expensive lifestyle. So my mother's side of the family, they were brought up a little bit different, and it was more so like, it's really hard to explain, but for the most part, I got to see both sides. So I have a balanced life. I never forget where I come from. I'm just very, very blessed to be where I am today and to sustain my type of living and my type of lifestyle and the things that I enjoy. So, yeah.
When you say balance, you feel like living and understanding the side of knowing what's out there versus living at a point to where you may not have as much. Do you think that just brought a lot of insight to you on how you wanted to be when you grew up?
Yes. And with that being said, I never looked at people sideways or anything like that. Like I said, I never forget where I come from because I experienced both sides. I took it upon myself as a young adult at the age of maybe 13 or 14. I decided to move with my grandparents and let my dad's parents raise me because my father has been deceased since I was 2 months. So I grew up in a 1-parent home with my mom, and my mom was a single mother, so she was raising 5 kids. And I just knew that I wanted better. I knew that I was the family's holy grail. I knew that I was destined to do many things, which I have already done and accomplished in my life. And at this age that I am right now, at 24, I've accomplished a lot. Not to toot my horn or anything like that, but I do deserve a pat on my back because I've done things that most people wouldn't even step out on faith to do. So, yeah.
So what high school did you actually go to? And how was that for you?
Okay, so for high school, the first high school that I went to was McDonald 35. And then my mom took me out of McDonald 35 mid my freshman year, and she put me into the International School of New Orleans. When I got to International, I've become very, very different. I started to gravitate more into the woman that I am today, and I was able to learn and build from there. I think that going to a diverse school just put me in a place to not be complacent or to be one-sided, definitely based off of culture and where I come from. And so I was very, very, very honored to go to a school where I was able to learn a different language, which was Chinese. I took Chinese for 4 years. I am very fluent in Chinese. Ni zao shama mingzi, that means, what is your name? And you respond in Wo Tiao, my name is, and whatever your name is. And obviously we don't have Chinese names here, so you will say your American name. So yeah, I went to International, and it was a really good experience. So I'm very honored to say that is where I went to high school.
Cool. So after that, pretty much, how did you get into your modeling career, and also what other things have you accomplished with that?
Okay, so my modeling career started when I was 17. And this is me into high school, just figuring out my life, figuring out the things that I wanted to do. I've always been photogenic. I've always had confidence. I've always been all about my appearance and things like that. And so I had started to travel a lot more and see a lot of different things and stuff like that. And me getting into modeling kind of started when I was looking for a place to live once I finished high school and where I wanted to go to college and things like that. And so I started doing freelance work for different brands and stuff like that. And it escalated quickly. I was keeping up with social media. I built my following organically. There were people that remembered me from Vine and stuff like that. And so there would be different brands that started to reach out to me because now I'm getting more publicity based off of my content on social media and things like that. And so as I'm building my brand, I'm also building a career in the same position. And so once I solidified my Instagram and learning how to take pictures and just learning the ins and out of working social media is basically how my modeling career got started. And I work with multi-millionaire companies, one being Pretty Little Thing. It's a UK brand, and I'm sure everyone knows about Pretty Little Thing. I work with Opali. I work with Savage Fenty, which is Rihanna's lingerie brand. I have major contracts over the board. I recently moved to New York to pursue my modeling. I participated in New York Fashion Week and all of that good stuff. So that's how I got my modeling started, by building and learning how to produce quality content on social media.
Awesome. So what keeps you inspired now, moving forward with everything, as far as, like you said, making that next step to move and start some new things as well?
Okay, so I feel like I'm the complete opposite of what people put out into the atmosphere. And what I mean by that is people always say, never let social media drive you into doing things quicker than you're supposed to. But I am a woman of gratitude. I am a woman of faith. And Salah. And I just like to follow what I see other people doing, but I do it at the pace of me knowing what I can and I can't do. And I don't necessarily believe that I can't do it. I just find different ways to go about doing it, because I feel as though if God put it on my heart, it was for me. If God put it in my face, it was for me. And so I just listen to what my heart tells me to do. I'm guided by God. I listen to everything that I feel that I'm supposed to be doing, and that's what I go after. And a person that really keeps me motivated now, of course, would be my baby. I am a new mother. I'm 3.5 months into the game, but I can honestly say I'm very patient. And it's just been a really, really great experience so far. So I'm really excited.
Awesome. So what are you up to now? Like, what are your aspirations to do moving forward?
Right now, I am currently working on a kids brand for my baby. It's called Salah Apparel. The website is apparelsalah.com. You guys can subscribe to that. However, I'm not working to perfect the brand. I'm working to make sure that it pays the bills. And that's just something that I've been putting most of my focus on. I've been working on it since I found out that I was pregnant. And so it's been a little bit over a year, and that's been my main focus, just, you know, making my child the investment, because like I say all the time, and people get upset, but to each its own. I tell people all the time, your baby is not a sacrifice. You had ample amount of time to decide what were you going to do. You have a baby. This is your life now. You no longer have a life yourself. This is your life. It's one and the same. And so whatever you do, your baby should be able to do, which is why I'm super grateful to be able to move around and be as patient as I am and allow my child to enjoy life with me as well. So.
Amazing. So what would you, in your eyes, we ask this with everybody, what do you feel like makes New Orleans, New Orleans?
What makes New Orleans, New Orleans are the people. You know, I can honestly say, New Orleans is a very, very, very unique place to be from. However, I just feel like I'm very different. I've outgrown New Orleans. I love New Orleans to death. I just feel as though it is a retirement place. It's a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, a lot of festivals. It's just like, it's always something to do in New Orleans. People are drinking at 6 a.m. And I admire that. You know, we all aspire to be at that place in our lives someday. And yeah, the people definitely is what makes New Orleans, New Orleans.
All right, and last two questions. So tell us an experience, if you can, that you've been through in New Orleans that would never happen anywhere else.
So I think everyone will agree with this, and this is like the smallest thing that I've experienced here that everyone has experienced. So one major thing, when you come to New Orleans, and okay, it's okay. We're gonna tell them about our experience that we had the other day. So when you come to New Orleans, you will always experience going to McDonald's and the ice cream machine is broken. The ice cream machine is always broken, and I've never experienced that anywhere else. But that's my New Orleans experience that I would like to share.
If you could tell your younger self or any individual, any younger person today, any good advice, what would you tell them?
Any advice that I would tell my younger self or anyone that's watching, always do your best. Always put your best foot forward and step out on faith. Do what it is that you said that you're going to do, because it will get done. No one can tell you what is destined for you. No one can tell you what your path is or what your path will be like. I feel like everyone's story is written, and so whatever you feel like you want to do that.
Telling everybody where to find you at, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, if you guys don't know, which I know who's ever watching, they know who I am. My Instagram is Justice J. Williams across all platforms. My website is Shop Justice J. Williams, where you can book me for collaborations and promotions and things like that. And you can follow Salah at the Salah MUH on Instagram as well, and click the links in our bio.
Only in New Orleans.